welcome back. I'm so glad to see you. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that saved me on my wedding day, 5 tips that I could not have done without on my wedding day. So let's jump right in. So as much as I'm a girly girl, I actually hate wearing heels with a passion. If they're not small and chunky, I cannot walk on them for longer than 5 minutes because I'm in a lot of pain. So I actually wore trainers for the whole day except for the ceremony. I now regret wearing heels to the ceremony because I just would have been so much more comfortable. Like, I only wore heels to the ceremony so that they could take pictures and videos of me putting my shoes on. But I didn't, I wish I would have just done those videos and then put the trainers on and then just gone, which means that the pictures that we took straight after the ceremony, I didn't have time to put my trainers on because they were in someone's car. So it took a while for someone to go and get them and come back, and by then my pictures were finished, so I was in a lot of pain during those pictures. Tip number 2 is having extra tables and chairs at the reception. I'm so glad I did this. It was kind of calculated, kind of not. I did have a few people drop out last minute, but I also had a few people come last minute. So it was both calculated and not calculated at the same time. But that did mean that some of my vendors could sit with everyone and eat at the same time, because I really don't like when videographers and photographers are just shoved in some other room just eating by themselves. And I gave my vendors food, and the real wedding food, they were allowed it, and they were allowed to sit on the normal tables as well, and I'm so glad I did that. They only sat for the duration of their meal, and then they were working the rest of the time. So I really didn't mind it. I was more than happy, but that did leave a little bit more space with some guests arriving a little bit early for the evening, so they could sit as well and listen to the speeches, because it was also messy and everyone ended up hearing the speeches anyway, but that was great. Tip number 3 is actually having a code word with my bridesmaids for when I wanted to dance. I heard it in another YouTube video where she was like, on your wedding day you don't have time to dance because you just have to speak to everyone, and she said that she would have rather danced, but she couldn't get out of these conversations. So knowing that, I told my bridesmaids, I was like, I want to have fun and I want to dance, and I don't care about speaking to people. Like, as much as I love you as my guest and I'm so glad you went, I want to have fun. It's my wedding day, So me and my bridesmaids came up with this code phrase, actually it's not word, the morning of, and it was literally like something completely random that I just thought of on the spot, and it was, do you want to go get chips? And if I said that to them whilst being in a conversation, they would know that they had to drag me to the dance floor. I ended up not actually needing it because I was so into the dance floor that no one actually talked to me. They were all just interested in dancing as well. But my husband, bless him, he's the one that did the rounds and spoke to everyone. I would say I feel bad, but the truth is that I had a lot of fun. And I'm so grateful for him to have spoken to people, but I was having the time of my life. What can I say? This is why we make the perfect team, dream team. Tip number 4 is to have an online RSVP list. This actually helps with a lot of money saving as well, because nowadays you don't even need paper invitation. We kind of do it because it looks nice, but you don't actually need a paper invitation. You can send them a text, which we didn't do. We had paper invitation, but the RSVP was on the website, so the guests would get a link and then they would go on said link and they would be able to RSVP on our website. That was so much easier than sending by post. Can you imagine managing all of that? And it all went on a spreadsheet automatically as soon as they RSVP'd. Everything was done, dusted, color coded. automatic, didn't need to do a thing. Now can you imagine if I had to send them an envelope that was stamped and addressed, and they had to click yes or no, and then they had to send it back, and then I had to get it, and then I had to do it all. No thank you. This is what technology is for. And this brings me to my next point, which is an online invitation for the evening guests. So we were going to do a physical invitation for the evening guests, just a smaller version, but it turns out that we didn't see a lot of them, so we didn't even bother printing them, because we were like, it's money on postage, it's money on printing, it's money on envelopes. So we were just like, let's just send it to them. It's just so much quicker, faster, everything saves money. Why am I going to waste my time sending it? Because it didn't matter that much to me. If it means a lot to you, then please do it, girl. But I didn't care. So yeah, just saves us so much money. But yeah, so these are the wedding tips that I could not have made it without. Nice, short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope these were useful. I'll see you in my next video.